Good afternoon to one and all present over here. I take this opportunity to welcome our honored management, Director of the Institute, Dr. Rajesh Goel, sir. Sir, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you say good evening
Yes, ma'am.
to okay, sir. Got it. Okay. So I take this opportunity to welcome our honored management, Director of the Institute, Dr. Rajesh Goel, sir. Dean Academics and Dr. Dheeraj Gupta, Dean Research, Innovation and Development, Mishra. Information Technology, Chief Secretary RPS Tomar, Chairman CSI Ghaziabad Chapter. Today's speaker, Mr. Ajay Sharma, Global Service Delivery Manager, IBM. Dear colleagues and participants to the expert talk on energy efficiency Solutions Innovation Council with Computer Society. This is the topic of today's talk.
Madam, you are not audible.
Am I
There are some disturbance. You are not audible right now.
Sir, can you hear me now? Am I audible?
Your voice is breaking actually. Probably you are not in a proper signal zone.
Maybe, sir.
Are you using the internet of your mobile?
No, sir, I'm using Wi-Fi.
So probably network is weak over there. Your voice is breaking.
Okay, sir, I'll try switching. In the meantime, you can introduce the topic of the today's discussion.
Shall I take over?
Sir.
Sure, sir, sure.
Okay. Very good afternoon to you all. Uh, Respected Dean Research and Innovation, Dr. Anuranjan Mishra, Dean Academics, GNIOT, Dr. Dheeraj Gupta, our esteemed Director, Dr. Rajesh Goel, today's expert, Mr. Ajay Sharma, Global Service Delivery Manager, IBM. Chief guest of the event, Dr. RPS Tomar, Chairman CSI Ghaziabad Chapter, and my dear participants. I, Dr. Rajdev Tiwari, welcome you all to this expert talk on energy efficiency on ManNet. And since I have been given the responsibility to introduce the topic, just I would like to mention the expert is already in the meeting and he is going to brief you about what the ManNet and how the energy efficiency is required in the ManNet basically. I am just going to tell you the mobile ad hoc networks are the networks basically where we do not have the fixed infrastructure. And since we do not have the fixed infrastructure and it is applicable especially in the scenario where we have some emergency kind of thing, war-like situation, a lot of uses you may find for this mobile ad hoc network, right? Since it will be an ad hoc network completely, there would not be any fixed infrastructure to power your terminals, power your nodes. Energy efficiency would be a major concern over there in the mobile ad hoc networks. Probably the expert of today's topic, Mr. Ajay Sharma, is going to come up with some innovation of how the energy efficiency can be applied to the mobile ad hoc network and how well we can utilize the energies, the battery power that is lying with the terminals, lying with the nodes in the mobile ad hoc network. Not taking much of your time, expecting a good, wonderful session ahead. Thank you very much.
Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, you
Very
are.
much.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It has always been a learning experience whenever we get to listen to you. Thank you once again. Next, I would like to request Dr. Anuranjan Mishra, Dean Research Innovation and Development, to introduce Institutions Innovation Council. Mishra sir, are you there?
Respected Director Sir, Chief Guest Dr. R.P.S. Tomar, Chairman CSI Ghaziabad Chapter.
Mishra sir, you are not visible.
I have to rejoin the. I have already opened the camera, so I have to rejoin the 1 minute. I will rejoin the.
Mishra sir, please unmute yourself.
Sorry, this is Ajay Sharma. Are you waiting for me or for someone else?
No, sir, we were just waiting for Mishra sir to connect. It seems there is some technical issue on his side.
As Shri Ajay safety conditions, we can start meeting.
Okay. In the meantime, may I request Director sir to give the welcome address, sir?
Thank you, ma'am. I will not take time.
No issues, sir.
On this platform, first of all, I would like to welcome Shri Ajay Sharma ji, Global Service Delivery Manager IBM, and Dr. RPS Tomar ji, Chairman CSI Ghaziabad. And the topic which has been designed for today's talk related to the energy efficiency for managed is definitely a topic which is well connected with the students and which is very much connected with the global platform. And lots of opportunities related to this MANET network is available, particularly for the students of the electronics, IT and CSC. And as already discussed with Dr. Rajiv sir, that this type of the network, the ad hoc network, and do not require any fixed infrastructure. And so it is a continuously self-configuring, self-organizing infrastructure, and it is connected without the wires. And sometimes it is known as the on-the-fly networks or spontaneous networks. And lots of opportunities and applications exist with regards to the MANETs, particularly the tactical networks, wireless sensor networks, data networks, voice networks, and such networks are envisioned to have dynamic system. And if the students masters themselves or do some projects related to these MANET networks, then lots of opportunities are available for the students. So on this platform, I again extend my warm wishes to all the participants and the organizers. Thank you very much.
Vidya ma'am, you are unmuted.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you, Director, sir. Thank you for your supervision and motivation all the time. Thank you, sir. Students, today we have chief guest with us and our expert speaker, Mr. Ajay Sharma. Mr. Ajay Sharma is involved with some kind of emergency, so we'll be having his expert talk first. So, just to introduce him, we have with us Mr. Ajay Sharma, who is currently working as delivery operations manager. He is currently working as Delivery Operations Manager and has been SIP Manager for Service Management at IBM Private Limited, Noida. He has a number of certifications under his name like PMP, ITIL, AWS to name a few. He has almost 17 years of experience in the creation and deployment of IT solutions, systems and IT infrastructure for diverse organizations. Mr. Sharma is an information technology specialist with BCMC, MCTS, AWS, PMP, ITIL, and system technologies. So this was just the brief introduction of Mr. Ajay Sharma. Rest he'll tell you himself. With this, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Sharma. Sharma sir, are you
Thank
there?
you very much. Thank you very much, Vidya ma'am. And first of all, I would like to thanks to Dr. Anurjan Mishra and all the people available here that you people gave me this opportunity. And as I informed to Dr. Anurjan Mishra that I'm in one emergency, one of my sister-in-law got expired today early morning. So I came in the emergency, but as it was the scheduled plan, so I asked that just give me 10 minutes. So I will just take 5 minutes to brief about my topic. I won't be able to give much time. So I apologize for that, first of all. So as you know, my topic, you people assigned me the innovation for the energy efficiency in mobile ad hoc network. So nowadays, as all the people are using internet in their mobiles and in laptops or computers everywhere. So when we were using the internet on mobile, in computer or in laptops, then we could understand we were sitting at the one place and we were using the internet from router. But nowadays, because we are using the internet in our mobile, so when we are moving here to there, then we need the internet connectivity. And while we are using mobile in roaming, then it is challenging to get the sufficient power for getting the internet device on. So that is the challenge. Because of that, nowadays we people are facing the challenge that every time our battery is getting drained due to the hotspot enabled in our mobiles. So this is what is the topic of energy efficiency in mobile ad hoc network. So mobile ad hoc network MANET is basically a network which is ad hocly prepared. It is not permanent. It is not having a fixed infrastructure. That is what is MANET. And as I explained that every day or every time the challenge is to provide the energy or to efficient the energy for such type of network. That is what is the energy efficiency for mobile ad hoc network, right? So nowadays this is getting popular and this is the demand of the time also, because we don't have time to sit at one place. As nowadays, especially if we'll talk about the COVID case, then in COVID emergency, in pandemic case, all the people are working from home or working from wherever they are staying or wherever they are at present. So this is again the requirement of the mobile ad hoc network. And as I explained that mobile ad hoc network is required the energy efficiency. So there are a lot of algorithm which I'm doing the research also on those algorithm nowadays, that if we are not using the mobile for more than 1 minute, we can activate the sleeping time within a 1 minute. Our network will get sleep and we will save the energy from that. So we have multiple type of function in our mobiles itself, and day by day new features are coming so that we can have a more efficiency in the mobile ad hoc networks. This is what is the basic concept of energy efficiency in mobile ad hoc network. I would like to inform, in fact, I am also right away facing the challenge of battery in my mobile, it is getting drained. So anytime this can get switch off. So I would be apologize for that. If my mobile will get switch off, then please bear with me, and you can continue your conference in that case. So far I explained my topic, the energy efficiency in mobile ad hoc network. So is there any question, or can I continue about it?
Students, if you have got any question, you can please raise your hand or unmute yourself. Please put forward your queries.
Yeah, and if I won't be able to give the answer due to like mobile battery or due to any reason, Dr. Anujana Mishra sir can provide my contact number, and you can connect in one-on-one, and definitely I'll be happy to provide the answer of the questions.
Anyone has got any queries related to MANETs?
Okay, all right. So if we don't have any queries, then that means we are good. So this is what is my topic, and I would like to thanks again to each and everyone to give me this opportunity to speak in this conference. So thank you very much. Over to you, Vidya ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Despite having such kind of emergency, still you could spare time for us and make it to the event. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're most welcome.
Next, I would like to request, I think Mishra sir is connected with us. I request Mishra sir to introduce IIC to the participants present.
Respected Director Sir, Chief Guest, Dr. R.P.S. Tomar, Chairman, CSI Ghaziabad Chapter, Dean Academic Sir, HOD CSE, our eminent speaker of the day, Mr. Ajay Sharma, Global Delivery Manager, IBM, and viewers. First, I would like to thank Mr. Ajay Sharma. In spite of so emergency, he is connected with us even if for some time, but definitely we will conduct his full lecture after few days. As they are able to give us time. Now I will introduce IIT 10. So the Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD, Government of India has established MHRD Innovation Cell, MIT, to systematically foster the culture of innovation among all higher educational institutions. The primary mandate of MIT is to encourage, inspire and nurture young students by supporting them to work with few new ideas and transform them into prototypes while they are in informative years. In the view of the above, GNYT has established Innovation, Incubation and Startup Council. Main focus of IISC is to create vibrant local innovation ecosystem, startup supporting mechanism in HEI, prepare institute for Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievement framework, establish function ecosystem for scouting ideas and pre-incubation of ideas, develop better cognitive abilities among students. Functions of IISCR to conduct various innovation, IPR and entrepreneurship related activities prescribed by Central MIT in time-bound fashion, identify and reward innovation and share success stories, organize periodic workshops, seminars, interactions with entrepreneurs, investors, professionals, and create a mentor for students, innovators, network with peer and national entrepreneurship development organizations, create an institution innovation portal to highlight innovative projects carried out by institutions, faculty, and students, organize hackathons, idea competitions, mini challenges, etc. with the involvement of industry. Various centers at GNOI are MSME Business Incubation Center, MSME Design Center, Institute Innovation Center, Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Center of Excellence, Startup, Entrepreneurship Center for Students. Various student bodies are Idea Club, Innovation Club, Startup Club, and IT Club. That's all from my side. Now we hand over to the moderator.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the introduction. Participants, today we have with us esteemed researcher from academia, Dr. RPS Tomar, sir, with us. So I would like to request Dr. Ramveer Singh, Head of IT Department, to introduce our chief guest. Ramveer, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, very good afternoon to all of you.
Yeah.
I am highly honored to take this opportunity to introduce today's chief guest, Dr. RPS Tomar. Dr. Tomar has started his career from with India Telecom Group B Services in 1976. He has more than 40 years of experience in telecom industry and academia. He conducted UNDP and CTO program for SAARC and APT countries. He has in-depth knowledge of telecom technologies like switching, wireless, GSM, broadband, digital transmission, optical fiber, and different IT technologies. He worked more than 2 decades in advanced level telecom training center and Apex training institutions of BSNL at Ghaziabad, and trained more than 10,000 government executives, PSU executives, army personnel, Indian police executives of telecom, IT and management sector. He was also deputed at Montreal, Canada for training assignment. His research work over the past several years has been focused on mobile technologies and management, and also supervised PhD and MTech students projects. After superannuation in 2013, he also worked as the director IT in IPM Group of Institutions Ghaziabad for more than 5 years. So in the last, I welcome Dr. RPS Tomar sir.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Ramveer Singh. Good afternoon to all present over here. Respected Dr. Rajesh, the Director at GNIOT, Dr. Dheeraj Gupta, Dean Academics, Dr. Anjana Mishra, Dean Research and Innovations, and Vice Chairman CSI Ghaziabad Chapter, Dr. Rajdev Tiwari, HOD CSC, Dr. Ramveer Singh, HOD IT, Mr. Ajay Sharma, Global Service Delivery Manager IBM, and eminent speaker for today's talk, CSI Ghaziabad Chapter, MC members, my colleagues, if they are present here, GNIOT faculty members, and my dear students. I am very much glad and privileged to be the part of this board on an occasion of expert talk on energy efficiency for ManNet. I thank to Professor Anjan Mishra for arranging this talk under the banner of GNIOT Institutional Innovation Council in association with CSI Ghaziabad Chapter. As you know, CSI and other technical bodies provides a bridge between industry and academics for the innovation development of the computer professionals. Computer Society of India is the oldest body of computer professionals, researchers, academicians in India, and it was founded in 1965 and consists 7 regions, close to 80 chapters, about 600 students branches all over India. Today, CSI on India basis having more than 120,000 members from academic institutions, individuals and students. Ghaziabad chapter of CSI is a leading chapter, was founded in 2004. Chapter has institutional branches and students branches from Ghaziabad, Noida, Greater Noida, Meerut, Moradabad and proximity, and large number of the individual members from industry, academics, government, PSUs, etc. Ghaziabad chapter organizes seminars, conferences, workshops, extend technical association, provides industry support of experienced and eminent speakers exclusively for our member institutions. We conduct various webinars during pandemic on technical and soft skill topics. Some of them are research challenges in computer science, emphasis on geospatial data analytics perspective, overview of Industry 4.0, how to live stress-free life, introduction to big data analytics and cloud computing, digital marketing glimpses, social networking and online mint, microservice architecture, introduction of DevOps. Chapter also conducts summer and winter internship programs for BTech, MCA, BCA students with live projects on latest IT topics. Thirdly, academic topics are being conducted for the technical workshop as intra-institutional competitions, students project contest and many more events. Now, as far as innovation is concerned, there is a saying that the replace old one with one is the innovation. But it could be a process, it could be a product, it could be a service, it could be a technology. Not only change, but innovation is the out-of-box thinking. Innovation is always a driving force for competition. Companies are using modern innovation management software techniques, innovation networks, as ManNet is one of the innovative wireless ad hoc network, which is very popular now for disaster situations, big exhibitions, and many more. If you go back into the history of the technology from innovation point of view and how scientists and researchers thought out of box, I put it into three phases. The phase one is from 1715 to 1830. The era of animated energy. The power of industry was generated from wind and water. Steam engines developed, and that purposes mainly for the coal mines. The further innovations were for automobiles, electricity, telegraph, and so on. In the second phase of innovations of the technology started from 1850 to 1940 phase. The technologies were used for printing technology, photography, communication, and so on. But during these two phases, India was not independent, so there was not fully leverage of these two eras of the technology in India. The third phase, the third technological revolution from innovation point of view came in the form of automations and computers, electronics, atomic power, web, telecommunications, cell phones, smartphones, and many more. Now the upcoming technology innovation, better education system, better information and opportunities for market players, entrepreneurs, farmers, as well as for students. India is the fast growing country for mobile apps development. Mobile tariff in India is lowest in the world. Computer smartphone is as powerful as space computers. We have inexhaustible amount of storage on Google Drives. Facebook has users, billion posting. Google, YouTube, social media is adding large number of data on daily basis and are being properly maintained by the smart technologies and innovations. If you go for the history of wireless communications, the technology came GPS, Global Positioning System, which was initially for missiles, surveillance, longitudinal and latitudinal, but when it made a public domain in 2000, being used for the commercial purpose like car navigations, Google Maps, mobile surveillances, and thanks to internet companies to give fast access. So this shows where we are today. COVID situation made more attractive innovations for healthcare, supply chain management, education systems, and we know that the kids of age 3 to 4 years are going online classes. They are allotted an ID. Can one open their own Zoom and certain school apps, interactive with the teachers, more smarter than before. Of course, some drawbacks of the technologies are also there. Everyone is being known by her own unique ID, and which is feasible for many transactions as well. Dependency on technology are serious sometimes. Example of the Google search engine was blocked on 14th, everybody knows, 14th December on Monday for 57 minutes. Around 5 p.m., Google services like Gmail, Google Docs, Android phone services, and other services were interrupted a lot. Wireless technologies are tremendous innovations like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, PM Vani, which is the latest innovations of the government of India and which is going to be started in the villages very soon. Wireless ad hoc network or mobile ad hoc network are the examples of the innovations. In ad hoc network, nodes have less power to carry out transmission. A network is supposed to maintain certain parameters, so energy efficiency is measured an amount of time over, which is a network can maintain certain performance level. How to maintain performance is despite of the scarcity of the power on nodes is a big challenges nowadays. So as Sharma sir said, mainnet may operate as standard fashions as they can be the part of the larger number of the nodes. Mainnet stands for, as everybody knows, mobile ad hoc network, and this is also called as the wireless ad hoc network. For ad hoc wireless network, we must usually have a routable networking environment on top of the link layer, and ad hoc network is working on that particular layer. They consist of a set of mobile nodes connecting wireless in a self-configured, self-healing network without having a fixed infrastructure. Mainnet nodes are free to move randomly as the network topology changes frequently. Each node behaves as a router as they forward traffic to other specific nodes to the network. So the routing of the traffic from one node to the another when there is a particular queue on a particular node is the saving of energy for a particular node. And we can just save the energy for the node's point of view. The main challenge in the mainnet is to equip each device continuously maintain the information required to properly route traffic. So a lot of researches are going to the routing protocols, especially for the mainnet. Mainnets consist of peer-to-peer, self-forming, self-healing network. Mainnet criteria is from 2000 to 2050 typically communicate a radio requirement, and that is from 300 megahertz to 5 gigahertz, and other technologies which are working on this particular band, frequency band, it could be Bluetooth and all. This can be used in road safety, ranging from sensor for the requirement, home, health, disaster, as Mr. Sharma told, rescue operations, air, land, navy, defense weapons, and robots also. So this particular technology are nowadays very dynamic technologies, and they are having certain constraint from the bandwidth point of view. And these technologies can be a very good behavior for the autonomous point of view. Now, certain energy challenges, those can be made by certain routing protocols, just to make certain researches for the routing protocols. And no doubt the drawback of the technology is because it is having the less security. So not saying too very much about this particular, if the time is, I think, not permit to me. So I once again thank you to the entire management team of the GNOIT to give me this opportunity. Thank you.